Needless to say, this is one of the most rewarding things we have done. Before I talk about why we all should support Ekal, I would like to ask a question, maybe a couple. The first one is, how many of you in this crowd attribute your success to the primary education that you all got? Yeah, I would say pretty much everybody, I would think. Let's flip the question. How many of you think that your kids can have a chance at the bright future and the success that we aspire for them if they did not get a good primary education? So if they didn't get a good primary education, I would expect our kids to be, at a severe disadvantage. Do you guys agree? Yes. There are 32 million children in India that do not have access to education. I'm going to let that sink in. 32 million people. These are the kids between the ages of 5 and 11 that do not have access to education. Ekal has 62,000 schools serving about 1.8 million students. Prime Minister Modi has challenged Ekal organization to have about 100,000 schools by 2020. So, increase about 60% in next 5 years. Still a long way to go from 32 million students that need access. Ekal offers an incredible opportunity for each of you to make a difference in the lives of those kids. $1 a day, $365 a year can help about 25 to 30 kids every year to have access to a primary education, have access to the teacher, have access to the facilities, have access to the books, all the basics that we take for granted. $365 a day, a year, it's really not much. I know as Indians, we all love earning interest and dividends and capital gains on all of our investments. Albert Einstein has said, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Investment in knowledge pays the best interest. So $1 a day offering about 25, 30 kids a chance to learn, what better return can you think of while investing and donating to this worthwhile cause? I can't think of any. I know as Indians are also very conscious about fees. How many of you guys wonder about your index funds and mortgage fees and refinance fees and title fees and bank fees and mutual fund fees? Ekal spends about 91% of their collections on programs. 91 cents of every dollar goes to the actual program. This is really a benchmark level. Okay, I'm a businessman, so I want to make sure that my dollars are being used properly. And I can assure you, it's one of the benchmark quality, in terms of the awarding the money being used correctly. 85% is the average. Point is that your hard-earned money is effectively put to use by these earnest volunteers. Remember, $1 a day helps how many kids? 35, 20, pick a number. We have an opportunity to help kids get a chance to get the most basic knowledge. 8 million kids who go to school actually have to do mandatory work. So by that I mean they're working in farms, they're working in mines, they're working in cottage industries, and many of them, God help them, many of them are just begging on the streets. 8 million, this is in addition to the 32 million kids that I mentioned earlier. So 40 million kids really need a chance. Give them a chance to be curious, chance to build their character, chance to experience knowledge, chance to get into secondary schools, chance to learn trade skills, chance to have productive jobs and meaningful lives. Team in Columbus has set a target. Last year they had about 150 schools. They're expecting about 280 people today. So to the Bollywood fans, bahut na insaafi hai ye. This is 250, 200, 300 adults in 150 schools. This is not making sense. We all should not be targeting 1 or 2 or just the donor tickets. We all should be targeting 3 and 4 and 5 schools. 3 schools would help about 100 kids. Can you imagine that? 100 kids for $1,100 a year. Comparison, our primary school here spends about $9,000, $10,000 per student. So I would advise, it's the best return on your donation. I hope you'll make the most of this wonderful opportunity as well as touch lives of those deserving kids. Thanks again to Ekal team for giving me an opportunity. Please contribute generously and enjoy the evening. Thank you.